We're here in the Space Shuttle Flight Control Room where the Orbit 3 team is still on duty. Over in the International Space Station Flight Control Room, the team there has just completed a shift change, and joining us is Dina Cantella, who is the outgoing flight director, just wrapping up her shift and taking a few minutes to give us an update. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
So today was a big day, the second spacewalk of the mission. It went really long. Can you tell us a little bit about the activities that were done, the ones that didn't get quite finished, and how you guys are going to adopt that into the going forward plan?
Okay, well, you heard a lot of the details today from Derek about EVA2, and really the overall message is it was a great success. There's one lingering Sarge cover. As you remember, the Solar Alpha rotary joint has some covers over it, under which we were doing some lubrication, and one of the covers couldn't be reinstalled. And so at this point, the team is assessing how that might impact the follow-on EVAs 3 and 4. At this point, we're thinking it's probably not going to end up that we'll have to go reinstall that cover, but all the analysis is still out, so we've not yet made that conclusion. For the rest of the EVAs 3 and 4, EVA 3 is as planned with the substitution of adding in the wireless antenna cable task from EVA 1 that was deferred, and we're adding in that infrared imagery of the payload that we talked about previously. That will get added into EVA 3 and onto the get-ahead list, so only if there's time. The tasks that were previously in EVA 3, those will be added to that list. We've got there's a data cable that we were going to install, and then additionally take some other imagery, some still photography, and all of that, it will be on what's called the get-ahead list, so items that the crew will just work if needed. So that really there's no trickle-down effects from EVA 2 and EVA 3, and EVA 4 is still as planned. We haven't made any changes to that yet. Details about things that might be get-aheads and that sort of thing, but from an overall big picture standpoint, EVA 4 is still pretty much as planned.
Okay, also throughout the afternoon, we've heard numerous conversations between Katie, Paulo, the ground team, as the two of them and Dimitri have been making preparations to undock and wrap up their long-duration mission. Can you tell us these final days, and especially this last day, what types of things they're doing to be preparing to leave the space station?
Well, as you've been hearing before today, the crew's been working on really those sort of really critical type things are really firmed up, and the plan is firm. The crew is very focused today on packing, so it'd be as if you were on a long trip and you needed to pack to come home. So the Soyuz is a pretty small area, and it has to contain quite a few things. A lot of samples that we might take of like water samples, of making sure that everything on space station is nice and clean and that sort of thing. So there's some samples, and there's some just general medical equipment and some other payload type things that for science reasons are wanted on the ground from all the different countries involved, and then also some crew personal items. And that's what a lot of Katie and Paulo have deferred until the final day. They've put off the personal items, and so they've been trying to figure out how to pack exactly what it is that they would want to pack in the Soyuz versus what they want to pack in the shuttle. They have opportunities to bring just a few things home on Soyuz, this space shuttle, and then the next space shuttle mission as well. So it's kind of a matter of figuring out which vehicle to put it all on. So that's what we've been working with them today on.
Also, with this undocking is going to be, this unique opportunity for some imagery acquisition. I know it's been talked about before, but it's so unusual. Can you walk us through again how that's going to happen?
Yeah, so the Soyuz is going to back away, and Dima will be manually piloting. So when it reaches about 200 meters, the space station is going to perform a slow maneuver in order to get it into sort of the perfect viewing angle from the Soyuz. And so then Paulo will get out of his seat, and he has to go to a different module, different part of the Soyuz. So he'll open a hatch and go into that module. He'll take still photography, so he'll use a camera, and then he'll also take video as well. But he also has other jobs to do. He has to help Dima with understanding how far away the space station is from the Soyuz, so that Dima can keep a very close eye on the distances involved. There's DEMA has some ways to go about doing that, but additionally, there's a handheld laser that we have that Paolo will have available to him, which will allow him to basically laze the space station, and it gives him a readout on how far away the space station is at various points, and that will help DEMA. So Paolo will be doing these things, still photography, video, and using the laser. And then he will leave the cameras, the video camera and the still camera, in the module that's going to burn up, so those won't be coming home, but he'll make sure to grab the cards and bring those into the module that is going to descend to Earth with the crew members inside. And so he'll end up shutting that hatch, and they'll do another leak check, and he'll make sure the suit's buttoned up, and then we'll begin the nominal process. And then there's going to be a separation burn, and they'll begin a nominal descent type of practice for the Soyuz on the way home. So it should just be sort of a momentary pause in the overall sequence of events and on their way to landing.
One final thing, the shuttle crew members are going to have some time off tomorrow. Can you tell us, after so many busy days of activities, what types of things do you think they're going to be doing on board to kind of relax, halfway through this long duration mission, or this joint mission, rather?
Right. Well, it's completely up to each crew member how they want to spend their day off in space. I'm sure that some of them have dreamt about how they want to use this particular day. So the one thing I know that some of them will want to do is sleep in, because really the purpose of a crew off day is, the crew is they've got to be really tired. They've worked really hard. It's a very it's just action packed for them. Many days of being action packed, and so I think a lot of them are going to plan to sleep in. And then additionally, they'll probably do some fun activities with their crewmates. I can imagine they'll probably have group meals and that sort of thing. I would probably be looking out the window and taking a lot of photography. And also, if you had anything that you wanted to do special for any of your friends or family at home, then you might be doing those types of activities. Well wishes or certain photographs or something like that you might want to take. So again, it's left up to the shuttle crew how they're going to spend it. We did insert an EVA tag up into their day off, just because the EVA went so long today that we didn't want to have them have that tag up at the end of this very long day, so we just pushed that off until tomorrow. But the purpose of the day is really just to give the crew some time to relax, and I'm sure that they will enjoy their time off, and I'm looking forward to seeing their videos.
We all are. It's going to be a really interesting day with the undocking. Like you said, some off-duty time for the shuttle crew members, but we do have a couple public affairs types of events as well, so we'll be watching those. Thank you again for taking the time to join us. Again,
My pleasure.
Dina Cantella, the Orbit 3 flight director from the International Space Station.